In the quiet of my chambers, when moonlight touches the edge of my window, your name arrives like a secret tune, soft, enduring, and known only to my heart. I press it to my lips like a vow I dare not speak aloud, yet repeat every night beneath silken sheets and crown-shaped dreams. Though the world sees a princess in glass and gold, within I am simply a girl who counts the beats of her heart, and each one sounds like you. I have walked the corridors of palaces, filled with art and ancient echoes, but nothing has echoed as deeply as the sound of your laughter in my memory. I can summon it even when you're far. I don't know when your smile became the sun in my sky, but I know that now, every time it shines, I feel myself grow in the warmth of your light. You are not just a name on my lips, you are the song beneath my silence, the face behind every closed eye, the reason my breath deepens without effort. And though I must stand tall before a nation, I kneel softly before the feeling of you. I speak to you in the hush between royal duties, when the world stills and I am allowed to be no one but yours. I wonder if you hear me in the rustle of my gown, in the pause before a speech, in the glint of my glance that always seeks something more than what is given. I feel you in places you've never been, beside me on the marble steps, in the shadows of portraits that look nothing like you, but still remind me of your eyes. I have read poems from centuries before my time, yet none of us dared to dream a love as hidden and profound as the one I carry for you. You are the muse no bard has touched, the chapter no historian will write, because your name is not inked in books, it lives in my skin. I must be grace and duty, composure and calm, but beneath my composed smiles, my soul shouts for you. It weaves your name into the stitching of my sleeves, into every step I take. How can something so silent be so loud? They say I will rule one day, with wisdom and strength, but I already know that my greatest strength lies in the way I love you, quietly, fiercely, endlessly. I walk among nobles and heads of state, yet none of them know that I am already sworn to you. Not with ceremony, but with longing. You are not born of royalty, but you are crowned in every corner of my being. You sit upon the throne of my thoughts, and no sovereign ever wore such power with such tenderness. If the world knew how I whispered your name into velvet pillows, how I signed letters I never sent, sealed with a kiss you'll never read, would they still see a future queen, or would they see the girl with stars in her chest and your name carved between them? I have touched golden scepters and worn jewels that belong in museums, but none of them shine like the memory of your hands. When you once held mine just briefly, unknowingly, you placed a scepter of your own in my palm, and I've ruled nothing else since. The seasons turn outside my castle walls, and with every shift, I find pieces of you in the wind. Summer carries your laughter, autumn holds your sighs, winter whispers your steadiness, and spring reminds me of the way you make things bloom in me that I thought had long since wilted. Even the rain feels different now, as if each drop is a note in the song only I know how to sing. Your name in my melody over and over. There are gardens here, ancient and wild, tended by those who know the language of roots. I walk among them and think of you, how you have become the garden in me, every part alive with your essence. I used to think royalty meant knowing everything important, but I didn't know love until you, didn't know the way my breath could catch just by remembering the way you say my name. Not with reverence, but with something softer, truer. I see your eyes in reflections, in glass and silver, in the eyes of strangers. It's like the universe keeps finding ways to remind me that even when you're not near, you are never gone. There are poems locked in my diary that bear only your initials, as if the mere thought of spelling your name in full might unravel the restraint I work so hard to keep. I sketch your profile in the margins of books meant for diplomacy, not desire. But you, my dearest, are my own secret embassy, where my heart seeks refuge from the coldness of protocol. I wish I could share these words with you, not as a princess, but as the girl who thinks of you when royal horns play. I would tell you that your smile is more victorious than any crown, that your voice is softer than silk, stronger than steel, and more comforting than my country's hymn. When I speak in public composed and careful, know that the only unguarded speech I ever give is the one I rehearse in silence for you. How is it that in a world built for legacy and law, my heart still finds its way to the one thing it was never taught to expect? Love unguarded, wild, and yours. Some nights I wake to the sound of my own longing, a quiet ache, wrapped in lace and linen. I dream of you beside me, not in palaces, but in places where titles fall away. In forests, in quiet cafes, in stolen minutes that stretch like eternity. In my dreams I'm not a princess, and you're not the forbidden hope in my story. We are just two souls choosing each other, again and again. My pillow holds the echo of your voice, though you've never spoken love to me aloud. Still I know what it would sound like. I imagine it would come not as thunder, but like dawn, slow, golden, sure. I would not need a crown to feel royal in your arms. I would not need approval to feel complete. If I could leave my legacy in a letter, it would begin with you. Because loving you has made me more than heir to a throne. It has made me human, alive. And though I wear diamonds that once belonged to queens, it is your memory that glows most bright around my neck, invisible but felt with every heartbeat. Sometimes I see you in the crowd, or someone like you, and my breath falters as if the very earth has shifted beneath me. I smile like nothing is wrong, like a future queen should, but inside I am a symphony of recognition, 1,000 violins playing only your tune. You are my unfinished song, my unread page, my sentence paused at the edge of my tongue. The world would not understand how could they see duty in every gesture, destiny in every movement. But I have seen freedom, and it lives in the memory of your eyes. It lives in the way my hand still feels your touch, though it's been so long. I am trained to speak many languages, yet the only one I truly long to speak is the one where every word ends in your name. When I say hope, I mean you. When I say future, it is shaped in your silhouette. You have rewritten what it means to be mine. And I carry you not in chains, but in wings. I fly toward every new day with the echo of your name in my chest. You were never meant to be a part of my story, at least not in the way stories are written for girls like me. But here you are, the hidden verse, the secret stanza, the quiet defiance in my tale. They talk of alliances, of nations, of strategic unions that benefit all. But you are not strategy, you are serendipity. And that is the most dangerous kind of love. The kind that was never supposed to happen, but now cannot be undone. If I could place you in my coat of arms, I would. If I could engrave your name into the stone of my lineage, I would. But all I can do is write it on my soul, again and again, and hope that one day you will feel it from afar. That one day you will understand the depth of the silence I keep, the way it's filled with everything I cannot say. I do not know what the future holds, but I know this, it holds you, in some form, even if only in the folds of my memory. When I'm alone I sometimes whisper your name into my tea, into the mist on the balcony, into the lullabies my mother once sang. I wonder if the universe hears me, if it takes those whispers and sends them to you in moments you cannot explain. Maybe when you feel a sudden warmth, it's me. Maybe when you look at the stars and pause, it's because I am looking at the same stars, thinking of you. I do not believe in accidents anymore. I believe in you, in how you came into my life, not with fanfare, but like a soft wind changing the direction of everything I thought I knew. I used to imagine love as grand and loud, full of declarations and drama. But you taught me that the most profound loves live quietly, in stolen glances and unsent letters, in moments suspended in the breath between words.